in the breaking of the Sahasrara, I have never left anything under. It's a perfect job. Your nerves are not hurt. Your brain is not hurt. Such a powerful Kundalini comes in. How sweetly, beautifully, delicately she pierces through. Only a thread comes out. And how then the connection is established and the relaxation starts coming in on the sympathetic. How all the beautifully chakras open and more of these threads coming out. Now you are also told how to work it out. You know all the technical know-how. What you don't know, that you are not yet a perfect machine. Gold has to be tested. The diamond has to be tested. All that is valuable has to be tested. Without that, how can you certify? So all these things are to be understood in right perspective. They are for our ascent, for our benevolence, for our higher state. But for that, you must know we have to fix our whole will to it. When people climb, say, Himalayas, what do? They take a big nail it at a higher point. Then tie up a rope and climb up to that. They don't look down. Then put another nail up there. Climb up to that, and that's how they climb Himalaya. Now what do we do in Sahaja Yoga? We take a nail from the top, put it downward. First day when you get realization, the experience is tremendous. Then one by one, coming down, the other way down. But as soon as you get realization, if you are intelligent enough, then you decide, how should I fix up myself? Like, decide like this. Supposing you are very fond of milk, take it like that. Now you should say, till I achieve a certain state, I will not take milk. But that should not be treated as a sacrifice, but as a joyous ascent. Do the people who nail upwards to go to the top of Himalayas, do they feel they are sacrificing something? If you start thinking that, oh God, I have sacrificed milk, then you finished. Downward movement starts. But if you like something, then you have to say, all right, if I like it, let me like my ascent more than this. Till I have ascended, I will not have. Such determination should be there. And without that, how do you think you can get over the horrible, monstrous mountain of ignorance that you have got? Actually, in realization, I put you on the top of the mountain, but you start slipping down. So you have to keep to that topmost point. I tell you about everything. You go and ask any one of the saints or any one of the great incarnations. Did they know so much about Kundalini? If they had, they would have written about it. They have never written anything about Kundalini. If they have, it's very little. To such an extent that it acts on your fingertips. That now we have brought science close to reality. The truth, the divine, science, all explained. It's become completely integrated now with us. Sahaja Yoga is the most scientific thing that you could think. Exact, the biggest computer that you are. But the computer has to be workable. You know, in the Western countries, after 18 years, you are regarded as adults. No more children. You all have become now adults. Adults, all right. I don't know how far you have grown. I don't know really. You are still big babies or you have really achieved that state of adulthood. And there at that time you are given lots of concessions and freedoms and rights. You have already all rights. If you want to go to heaven, you can go. If you want to go to hell, you can go. All freedom. No problem on that. But the adults are those who have discretion, who know what is the purpose of their life, who can do anything to achieve that purpose, who have powers to fight and understand. While I find people who are even grown-up people in Sahaja Yoga behave in such a manner that you are surprised. How do you get impressed by superficial people? By superficiality. If somebody is very sweet to talk, doesn't mean that person is good. That person is divine, doesn't. On the contrary, a divine person is never that sweet that you get sick of that sweetness. It has to keep both the reins in the hand. Yes, freedom, all right. The accelerator, all right. Also the brake. But you always like a person who pampers your ego, says something very sweet. What does it take to say sweet these days? People are training them in that kind of an artificiality. You must judge a person on their vibrations. But as it is, because you are superficial, you cannot feel the vibrations. You pay attention to people who are nonsensical. Now accept one thing at that point, that you have to still mature. That you don't accept, then your ego comes up, oh God. Or you feel guilty. How will you progress there? Only thing you have to do is to get into the boat, that's all, fully. But here you put your foot in the mouth of a crocodile, all right? If you take it out from there in the mouth of a shark, and the boat is pulling you, which way you stand? But the worst are human sharks and crocodiles, because they never show you their teeth. They never show you their eyes. They cover themselves with such deceitful appearances, such dubious behavior that you can't see them unless and until you are a realized soul. So now here we go further in our adulthood. Be aware of it, of your responsibilities. Be aware of your powers. The greatest power that you have is of divine love, not the stupid love that blinds you and that you fall in love, but you rise in love. The way we talk, the way we walk, the way we live, the way we behave, everything has to be Sahaj. And it is such a real, living culture of beautiful people in the world. So today, again a day of great determination. I am taking a vow that for us our ascent is the only concern, is the only idea, nothing else. And it will work out. All the rest will be taken care of. We have all the mechanics to do that. But first, give it to the mechanics to work out. All will work in a reflex action. Clear. Clear out your chakras. Don't say I have this, I have that. Just clear out. How dare I have all these problems? How dare I have all these chakras still lingering? Clear out. Morning, evening, clear out. I'm sure it will work out. Next year, I hope I'll have some good news. May God bless you.